All right, good evening, everyone. Calling the meeting to order. This is the Board of Trustees agenda meeting, January 28th, 2026. Calling this meeting to order at 6:05 p.m. Clerk Perillo, would you please confirm the presence of a quorum?
Yes, thank you. Mayor Shepro?
Present.
Thank you. Trustee Ugrinsky?
Present.
Thank you. Trustee Franco?
Present.
Thank you. Trustee Hill?
Present.
Thank you. Trustee Giuliano?
Here.
Thank you. With that, Mayor, we have a quorum. We have Attorney Moran here. Treasurer Gafka is here. He's otherwise engaged for the moment.
Thank you. Are you here?
I am here.
Okay, thank you. All right, so can we please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. I think we have several announcements for tonight, Clerk Perillo.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. The first is that the annual Ice Festival will now take place on February 14th and 15th. And also, secondly, that the village offices will be closed on the 16th of February in observance of President's Day.
Thank you. The Ice Festival has been, took advantage of their rain delay date because of the current weather situations and a forecast for next weekend.
Yes, owing to impending
Potential
weather.
snow. Yeah. All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. Our next item on the agenda is a public safety and welfare update, and we'd like to start with our representatives from the Suffolk County Police Precinct 6.
Good evening. I'm Sergeant Steve Tesserero. I'm a sergeant in the 6th Precinct.
Thanks for being here, Sergeant.
Yeah, thanks for having me. How's the microphone, okay? So, like I normally do, we just did a brief breakdown of...
He wants you to pick it up and speak
okay.
into it,
Can I move around and stuff, too?
like Ryan Seacrest or something.
Yep, no problem. So we normally do a breakdown on the calls for service, incidents, non-criminal, criminal, and other factors going on in the village. We're looking at year over year from the time period of December 17th through January 28th last year versus this year. Nothing drastic jumps off the paper, which is always good news. Total calls for service, last year we saw 402. This year we had 380, of which the only factors that were a bit elevated, we took 2 assaults, of which looks like we made arrests on those, and we had 11 harassment calls for service as opposed to 4 of last year. Just looking through those, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 of those cleared by arrest, a few more pending, and it looks like a few of those are duplicates as well, so the number is a little bit skewed, but we're tracking all those things. Criminal mischiefs, we had 1 last year, same thing this year, 1. Total larcenies, we took a few more this year, 6 as opposed to 2 of last year. We took 1 menacing that was in conjunction with that assault I previously mentioned. That was 1 last year, 1 this year. No robberies, thankfully. And breakdown of total criminal incidents, we had 23 last year, 35 this year. To non-criminal, we saw 116 aided cases this year, as opposed to 140 this year. Thankfully, no fatal overdoses made up that total. 33 alarms last year, same exact number, 33 this year. We had...
What was that? I'm sorry?
Alarm cases, alarms.
33.
Yes. We had 15 check on the welfare incidents this year as opposed to 17 last year. Total of 61 disturbances this year as opposed to 52 last year. 12 domestic incidents, 8 last year. Person with mental illness transports, we did 10 this year, 12 last year. And it makes for a total non-criminal year over year, month over month, 345 this year, 379 last year. And again, a lot of those criminal cases are being actively investigated. We made a few arrests and more than likely a few to follow. Motor vehicle accidents, we saw less this year. We saw 18 this year, 22 last year. All things considered, this time of year, I think that's a good metric. With, the village actually does look a lot better than other places in the county, snow removal wise. So hopefully those numbers stay down, because it's been really, really bad for us. We've been very, very busy. Of those motor vehicle collisions, none of them were serious physical injury or fatal, thankfully. And total arrests, we did 10 total arrests, 12 charges made up those arrests, and as opposed to 8 last year. Yeah, like I said, nothing else drastic jumps off the page, which is always good news. We don't have any crazy cases to talk about. I like that. The community meeting is scheduled for February 10th. It's going to be at the 6th Precinct, 10 a.m. All are welcome. And yeah, that's pretty much it for me. Does anyone have any questions I can field?
I have a quick question.
You got it.
So every once in a while, we get 18 inches of snow in Port Jefferson every decade or decade and a half or so. If thrill seekers come around and start doing donuts in parking lots and in the roadways and all kinds of things, do their fishtails and all those kinds of things, what's your recommendation for how to react to that?
Well, first, call immediately. Second, if
Is it a 911?
Definitely. Yeah, definitely. I mean, something like that with people walking around, it's incredibly dangerous.
Yeah.
I don't, any weather condition, I think that should be a 911 call. And we expect them. And we spoke over the summertime about our highway task force units. They were instrumental for us, and they're still actively going. They're a little bit slower this time of year. We're still tracking the street takeover stuff, the car meetups, but we have a lot of guys looking for things to do, and if you need our services, please.
Thank you.
That should definitely be a 911 call,
Thanks.
for sure.
Any other questions for the sergeant? We don't get a sergeant here every day. All right.
Thanks
Thank
for having
you.
me.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Good night, guys.
Hello, everyone. Thanks for having me tonight. Code, we slowed down a little bit for the month January, expected with the weather. We received 3 online complaints, 2 were anonymous, 2 for illegal parking, 1 for a resident that didn't shovel his sidewalk during the first snowstorm in the beginning of the month. We had no code investigations for January. As far as incidents reported to the code phone, we had 1 disorderly person, 1 person opening car doors, and on one of the streets in one of the neighborhoods. The PD was called. The person was gone on arrival, but they did make a report. We had 380 cases, 1 call for illegal clearing, 1 for a dead deer in the road, 1 for power lines down, 1 for litter, 1 for vehicle accident, and then we had 1 incident where kids in a car were shooting soft air pellets onto the ice rink while people were ice skating. One of our code officers saw the car and got the license plate and reported everything to the village center, to the supervisors there. So I don't know what happened beyond that, but nobody was hurt or anything. They were the soft air pellets, and they were just shooting them up in the air, and they were dropping down onto the ice rink. So parking tickets, we issued month-to-date 274 tickets. Last year, code issued 63 for the month of January. That's about all I have with that. The snowstorm coverage, I was out there with Anthony. Anthony opened up the EOC and was making, not daily, routine reports to Frez on our activity with within the village, plowing, accidents, 80 cases, stuff like that. He was giving a routine updates to Frez, so that worked out really well. That was really the first time we opened it up for any length of time. So it worked well. We were communicating with Greg's guys at DPW all night, and everything worked out. They did call me out at about 10 o'clock Sunday night for some cars that were parked, you know, impeding the plows, and I wrote 7 tickets for that. So unfortunately, people didn't move their cars off some of the main streets. So.
You know, a lot of the municipalities just tow. And so the tickets are a lot kinder, I would say. But, I mean, I've seen Angie Carpenter on TV saying, get your cars off the road or we're going to take them, and you won't have, you know.
Yeah, the village was pretty good. There were a couple streets, one person on a cul-de-sac didn't park along the curb. They parked out from the curb. And when you're on a cul-de-sac with a 10-foot-long plow, you can't plow it right, and it takes more time, and it just slows everything down, so.
I mean, nobody likes to see anybody get tickets, but
No, yeah.
we're,
I was out 10 o'clock Sunday night. They had plenty of time to move, so I didn't go out first thing, you know, so. And the upcoming event, we have the Ice Festival that was postponed till Valentine's weekend. And that's it. Any questions?
so I did have a question. So we Sylvia, sorry to interrupt you, but we established ourselves in the village, sorry to interrupt, I don't know, but I would just want to talk about the state of emergency process. So because Anthony opened up the Emergency Operations Center at the Public Works office, and the governor identified that Sunday she called a state of emergency, and from there, what is our process so that, and what is the impact of calling making notification that we are under a state of emergency as a village?
Thank you. Attorney Moran and I proactively prepared a state of emergency declaration, which was then signed by you and witnessed by me. It was effective prior to Sunday. As a matter of fact, if I remember well, it was effective at noon on Saturday, the 24th. The effect of that, Mayor, is that Mr. Cooper and the entire department are given the authority and power to do whatever it is that they need to do to protect the health, safety, and welfare of our residents. That's first and foremost.
And so what happened, we declared a state of emergency during the last storm as well?
Yes, we did.
Yes, but nothing came of that, right?
That's correct.
Okay, but then the last time before that was the August storm in 2024?
In 2024, yes.
Where
the
we're
18th.
currently still making repairs to issues that had happened over the course of that storm. We were reimbursed for overtime, pay for our employees, DPW, DPW and parks, anyone that had to come in on an emergency basis. We also got reimbursed for, Treasurer Gafka, about how much did we get reimbursed for? Just, it doesn't have to be the exact amount, but for the state of emergency declared during the August storms based on engineering, construction, and repair projects. We repaired the whole entire DPW building, new floors, new walls, new roofs, and the federal government repaid us. So you don't need to cite the number. I mean, it's pretty astronomical. It might be close to $1 million, given the fact that we just got approved and funds were obligated for the Centennial Park retaining wall, up to $484,000 or something like that, a dime of which will not be taxpayer money. So this state of emergency is a very, very important thing to declare when you're in the middle of it. And we already got notification, did we, Clerk Perillo, about keep track of all your expenses that accumulated over the period of time that the storm impacted the village. So
Yes, we received damage assessment paperwork from Suffolk County FRES, which is Fire Rescue and Emergency Services. So our department heads are already working on collecting data for that.
and that's step one.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So Treasurer Gafka should be very happy to hear that. All right. Any questions for Code Chief? Code Supervisor?
And I was just looking at the weather report for Sunday, and it's gonna be close, this storm coming up. So the islands might split the island in half, and we might be on the bad half, so, so we might have to do it all over again. The winds are gonna be, I think, the biggest problem coming. Might be some coastal flooding, so
Gotcha.
we'll be ready.
Okay.
All right?
Thank you. No questions for Code Supervisor? Okay. Thank you. All right, we have our third guest reporting today on public safety and welfare is our new Department of Public Works Superintendent, Greg Munson. Thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me. Good evening, everyone. I started with the village as the new DPW superintendent back in November. November 10th was actually my first start date. I just want to go over a couple of things regarding the last snowstorm we just received, which was Snowstorm Fern, what we did to kind of prepare for the storm, what we endured during the operations of our snowstorm, and what we're doing for cleanup efforts now. On Saturday, I activated all employees to report to DPW at 7 a.m. on Sunday morning. I activated 24 employees. I also activated 2 contract services, B&B Maintenance. They take care of all of our parking lots, and Brennan Homes Irrigation takes care of all of our sidewalks that are village owned. As the storm progressed and as it hit, it was very clear that we were experiencing a high total of snowfall, inches per hour. When we get to that type of snowfall, my number one priority switches to safety of the traveling public. In this village, we have two major hospitals and also another hospital right over the hill. With that being said, my number one goal is emergency routes, followed by primary routes, followed by secondary routes and collector streets. Once again, the safety of the traveling public, that is my ultimate goal, is to get all of our residents and all of our first responders safely throughout our village and to other areas across the Long Island. With the snowstorm of that caliber, a lot of times all emergency personnel across the island gets stretched thin, so we want to do our best as snowplow operators to help and keep our roads in pristine shape as possible. Currently right now, with the large amounts of snowfall, we're still continuing to work on our parking lot maintenance and sidewalk maintenance, and that's going to go into the next couple of days and maybe even to next week. We do have a new snowstorm that is coming in, so we were trying to make a new canvas across our entire village, so we're ready for the new potential snowstorm on Sunday. Would anybody like to ask any questions on the snow?
Any comments?
I wanted to just say thank you. Yeah, I mean, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'll pile on with that. The level of coordination I saw throughout the village all day Sunday night, and into Monday morning was impressive, and certainly an improvement, and it was definitely needed. And I think it's 1 to 3 inches.
Yep.
Sunday, this coming Sunday. So hopefully not the same thing, right?
I know. We hope.
But good job, guys. Everyone at DPW, thank you.
Took a ride in a truck with superintendent, and you sit at home and you watch the snow come down, and it's majestic and beautiful, and then the wind swirls and it's still even more majestic and beautiful, and then you get in a pickup truck with a plow on it and you can't see right in front of your eyes. I mean, you could barely see outside of the windshield. It's not majestic. It's treacherous. So these guys are, it's like secondhand nature to them.
Yeah.
Can't even imagine it. But we appreciate it. We appreciate their dedication. We appreciate the camaraderie and the respect, the mutual respect that the department shares with one another. And we're happy that they're out there and working for the village with, all their, I don't know, I use the word dedication way too many times, but they put their efforts were all in, so we appreciate them.
Thank you.
Greg, I'd also like to acknowledge you and your staff. I mean, I've plowed before, and plowing all night long, it is draining, and you guys, DPW, Parks, your whole crew, really should be applauded by the community, because you guys did an amazing job. You know, I mean, like you said, safety was first and foremost. And I gotta have to say, I drove the roads shortly after you guys got done, and they were pretty good. I mean, with the amount of snow that we had. So again, kudos to your leadership and your direction during this storm, because you know, sometimes it looks easy, but it's not. And you guys did a great job.
Thank you.
We're kind of having an after-action meeting on Friday, just to go through some of the things that, to coordinate with more people in the downtown area. But, you know, ultimately, it was a job well done. I drove across the island today to Patchogue just to see what was going on over there. I don't think they had as much snow as we had on the South Shore. No. Nope. So it's not to compare, you know,
Yeah.
we can't compare the South Shore to the North Shore, but I know what happened here, and I know we haven't seen that amount of snow in a very long time. So, again, great job.
Thank you.
I will say one
Let me
more
just-
thing. I will compare what you guys did here in the village to East Setauket and Stony Brook side streets are a disaster. So in that comparison, you guys were amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah, let me just jump on the bandwagon, and, you know, we spoke earlier, but you guys did a great job. And Kevin, you know, code as well, so DPW and Parks did a fantastic job. If you look on social media, everybody was saying the village looked great. The minute you left the village, you could tell right away you were out of the village, because the roads were not the same. So, as everybody else said, kudos to you and for the hours that you put in over the weekend for the storm. So thank you very much on behalf of the village residents.
I'm not going to be the only one that doesn't say thank you. So I'm going to say thank you all for your hard work. And I hate being out in the freezing cold, so I'm glad that you're all doing it. And I will say, you know, the one little anecdote that I thought was pretty entertaining was there were folks on one of the Port Jeff Facebook groups complaining about specific roads that weren't plowed. And then people had to point out that that was in the town, not the village, which I thought was, you know, pretty exemplary of how good of a job the village was doing compared to our peers.
Thank you.
So thank you.
One last thing I want to say, and thank you to everyone again, is, you know, when you have snow events like this, it's about continual improvement. You know, it's how can we be ready for next snowstorm? What were we successful in, and what were our failures, right? And how do we capitalize kind of on those failures, how to move forward, and how to be ready for the next one? You know, I just came out of Colorado, and I used to, I dealt with a lot of snow. I lived at 9,100 feet above elevation. So this snow event, what I just witnessed, was kind of routine for me, but I'll give credit to all of my employees and all the employees that helped out. Every single one of them did an absolute phenomenal job. And I'm going to, you know, if it happens again, I want all of them by my side, because it was a definitely a show they put on. So.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Greg.
Okay, Clerk Pillow, we have on the agenda right now correspondences.
We do, Mayor. We have 3. To continue on the theme of snow removal, we have an email from Marissa LeBron that reads as follows. Good morning. As an employee and a longtime resident, I would like it noted that the Port Jefferson Village Highway Department did an incredible job under extreme circumstances. My street was continuously plowed on Sunday to prevent any hazardous conditions. The crew members not only did a great job, but drove with caution, which can be an issue. I would also like it noted that this is the first time in years that the village clerk's office had less than a handful of calls complaining about the snow removal. Job well done.
That's a good data point.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
The second letter, Mayor, is, you mentioned earlier, the Centennial Wall. We have a letter from Supervisor Panico, and it reads as follows. Re-Centennial Park Wall storm damage repairs. Dear Mayor Shepro, I'm writing to confirm the general agreement discussed at our meeting of November 17th, 2025, regarding the cooperative effort by the Village of Port Jefferson and the Town of Brookhaven to make necessary repairs to address storm damage to the wall structure at Centennial Park. As discussed at our meeting, the Town of Brookhaven agrees to provide labor and equipment necessary for demolition and removal of the upper portion of the wall and removal of fill from the site. The estimated cost value of the town's contribution to the cost of the overall project is $123,700. The town looks forward to working cooperatively with the village to complete this project. Sincerely, Daniel J. Panico, Supervisor.
That's a third of the cost of that project. And what that does is that offsets the village's 25% responsibility or 12.5% responsibility. It became a 12.5% responsibility because of the governor's commitment to pay that additional 12.5% on all 25, on these FEMA grants, right? Certain FEMA grants during the August storm. And storms prior to that too. That's where we got that extra money from. We're gonna accept the movement of that money tonight, right? For the Oakwood Road recharge basin. So not a dime of taxpayer money is going to be paying for that wall, which is, it's covered by FEMA, the town's participation and partnership, and we love working with the town. We love their engagement with the village and their support, and also the governor's 12.5%. So thank you for reading that letter. When does that let's just say when that project will start. It'll start probably, we've already done test pits, or test soil testing, so I think probably next month. And hopefully it'll be done before the heavy duty season and the commissioning of the fleet.
That's the hope.
That's a thing. Okay.
Okay. Lastly, Mayor, we have a communication from Stanley Lomangino, who is the managing member of Maggio Environmental, and I would like to read one sentence which says as follows: Maggio will freeze the price increase for 2026. So I encourage all residents who have not seen a flat bill from last year to please contact Maggio. They have had outreach to everyone they think via email or any other means, but if your bill does not reflect a flat price from last year, they are very happy to call you. I did assist a resident or two that did not see a flat amount, and it was rectified right away. So thank you to them, and also good news for our residents.
That is good news. Thank you. Okay, those were three, right?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Now we are going to briefly adjourn to executive session if we have a motion to do so.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Into executive session we go. Okay, welcome back. Clerk Perillo, we need a motion to come out of executive session, correct?
Yes,
Do we have a
Mayor.
motion?
At 7:13 PM and re-enter the meeting.
I'll make the motion.
Thank you.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Next up, we have our public comment section. Is there anybody that would like to address the board? Barbara? Yes, please.
Barbara Sabatino, Westview Avenue. I have a question about the Maggio bill, which is, I'm billed every other month, and my last bill was December/January, which went up about $10 more than the previous part of the year. So are we looking at, should I be calling them and saying, hey, my bill should be rolled back to that very, recent increase, or are we looking from that bill forward?
I can't. I can't answer that, but do you know how to contact them?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, then please do. They've been very responsive. If they're not for whatever reason, please let me know, and I'll personally help you.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome, Barbara.
And then, I should have asked DPW before when he was here, but totally forgot. In past years or decades ago, when there was so much snow as there is now and the plows have no place to put it, they used to pick up the snow and take it over to the Joe Erlin Park.
Oh.
Yeah, I know.
I thought you were going to say the harbor.
Yeah, no, they can't do that anymore. Yeah. No, when they couldn't do that anymore, they went over, they took the snow and put it in the Joe Erlin Park, and I was wondering if there was any plans to do that.
Well, now it's Haywood Park.
Oh.
It's the Joe Erlin Field, but
Okay.
we will, they did consider, and I think it was Dave Melios that recommended that we use, that they use Haywood Park over there to source a location for some of that extra snow.
Very good, thank you.
You're welcome. Yes, Myrna.
Okay, hi, everybody. First of all, I'm here just to talk about a little bit about this single-use plastic initiative that we are so happy that you passed several months ago. And I want to thank Kyle, who helped so much to get it over the finish line. And I know Bob Giuliano also helped. But I'm here to ask you about getting it out to our public more. Some of our residents are not aware that this policy even exists, that we have a ban on using single-use plastics at the village center that many people are not aware of. So I'm here tonight to ask you if there is some way that our village residents can have more of an awareness that this policy exists. I went on the village portjeff.com site. I see no mention on any of the website that this policy even exists. On the page where there is the village center rental page, and it gives the descriptions of the rooms, there's nothing there that says anything about this policy even being in effect. Now, it may be, I just haven't seen it. I haven't seen any notification on any website, on any village brochure, on any handouts that we get as residents. So I'm asking you tonight to make this effort, because I haven't been at the village center to even find out if this is going on, if it's being enforced. When Holly and I initiated this proposal, we knew that enforcement was going to be difficult, that it would be hard to monitor. So I'm asking you tonight, if even at the village center, a sign, some type of a sign that says this is this plastics are not permitted here. This is a single-use plastic it's not permitted. So I think we have to take this initiative further. If I were to ask some of the people sitting behind me if they even knew that this policy existed, some of them might say no. So this is a proposition that doesn't cost any money. We're not talking about hundreds of thousands of dollars, and we can become more of a greener, environmentally proficient community. So I would ask you to even letting our village committee members know this. How many dozen village committees are there? Dozens, probably. I would ask you tonight to put it out to the chair of the village committees that this is a policy that you wonderfully approved. All of you did, and we were so grateful. But we need to now take the next step, where to make this possibly more enforced. I also don't know, I'm not involved there at the village center, but the person who gives the rental agreement I haven't seen a hard copy of the rental agreement, so, and I'm not aware of what type of conversation they're having, but I do know that we need to push this now a little bit further. And we need to get it out in the papers, we need to get it to our committees, we need it to get to our residents, we need to have signs and brochures at the village center. For instance, we have a desk when we walk in, and there are also racks on the wall in the back. I think we start to have to let people know this ahead of time. Because from what I understand, most people are not adhering to this policy, and there's no enforcement. The other thing that I was just made aware of is that when somebody has some type of an event there, that there's a building manager. Is that correct? Who is on site during the event? There's a building manager. Okay. And that the person renting that space usually has to go through the building manager to make sure that everything is cleaned up, that the room is being left in a particular way. Is it possible that this manager, this building manager, whoever it happens to be, could take a little bit more of a proactive role to make sure that we are adhering to this policy that was approved by you? Because right now, I'm not sure if it's being, if it's being enforced or not. And so tonight, to please consider this, to get it out visually to our residents, to people at the village center, written on the website, put up on the page of the rental, as I just said before, and I think that would help an awful lot to make our village a little bit more greener. Thank you.
Myrna,
Thank you,
I know-
Myrna. Thank you, Myrna. We'll have trustee comments
Okay.
after. Okay. Thank you. Anyone else for comments? Okay, hearing none. We have trustee comments, and we'll start with you, Bob, because you just
Okay, I
seemed
know
like you wanted to talk.
the rental contracts does say that you can't use single-use plastics. So when the person comes in to rent the room, when they sign the contract, it's in the contract saying that.
Is that the hard copy?
The hard copy.
Not on the website, is it?
Is it on the, I don't,
We just pulled it up. It's on the website.
it's on the website. They're telling me it's on the website.
It's on the website?
So I think you're talking past each other. It's the contract that is on the website. It is there too. It's not on. It doesn't live on the website as a stated policy, but similar to how it doesn't we don't reiterate the alcohol policy either. So not to jump on your time, Bob, but I think what we can do is maybe have a conversation with you and Holly and figure out a way just to better promote the policy.
It's a five-page contract.
Yeah.
It has everything written on it, as you know, but it doesn't have
We,
this.
do you,
No, it does.
Nobody can hear you, because we're broadcasting live, so.
Yeah, but then I missed it, so it's written.
It's in,
So it's written, so it's written on the website somewhere.
it's in the contract.
It's
So
in the
The
contract.
contract is on the
Contract
website.
and the contract
yes.
is on the website.
Right.
I will look at that contract again, and I could not find it, but I will look again. Thank you.
So everyone that signs a contract to rent out space in the village center is agreeing to single-use utensils, right? Like that, whatever, that,
Cups and plates as well, everything.
agreeing to the policy.
Yes.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. And then it also says.
No,
Sorry.
I was just making a statement in
Yes.
general. So,
Correct.
but, and listen, we always appreciate people putting something in writing and sending it to us, so it's a lot easier to move things around and delegate and ask for opinions and things like that if we get something in writing. This is helpful, but we have a recreation center manager who, it's better to not have to create something than for the person who's making the observation and the resident who's asking for it to articulate in writing what it is that they want. So, and that can go to the clerk or that can go to one of the trustees. It would just be helpful and more efficient.
Would you consider sending out more information to our residents as well? On another vehicle, different type?
I'm
consider.
going to look to the trustees that helped, you thanked earlier and helped make it happen. Anything else, Bob?
The only other thing, and I mentioned while Greg was here, just wanted to thank again the DPW and the parks as well as Code for the awesome job that they did over the large snow event. So it's the only other thing I had.
Okay. Trustee Hill?
Nothing for me.
Okay. Trustee Franco?
Yes, good evening. I had a meeting today with a group of people at the First Presbyterian Church in town, and I just would like to put out to the community, if there are people in the community that are looking for a meal, or if you know residents that are struggling, they put on an amazing banquet of food they provide. It's on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Friday you can go and pick up food from them. So it was really, I went down there today, it was really nice to see, and today they put on almost like a Thanksgiving dinner. So if there are any residents out there that, know a neighbor, know a friend that's struggling, this vehicle is available for you guys on Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays. You can come actually pick up food. So it was really very nice. And the ladies and gentlemen that are working in the kitchen were really, really kind. They work all day. They work so hard. And I just wanted to put that out to the community that is available for the community. And again, congrats to the DPW and Parks and Greg and Code for the amazing job. And you know what, the residents, for most part, kept their cars off the street, which is, smart. So it just makes it easier for our employees to get the work done that they need to get done. Thank you.
Trustee Ugrinsky?
Sure, thanks. Just want to quick report out on the budget. We're, as you guys know, we're in the middle of the budget. We're meeting with all the department heads. That is also been the focus of, or the Budget and Finance Committee plays a big role in sort of bringing this to completion once we've gone through the department meetings. And they were going to meet tomorrow on the audit committee findings for last year. Those have been pushed off by a week. So, and mainly due to the change in accounting policy for the golf course. We're moving into an enterprise fund, which is, you might consider that more like where it has been reported as more of a government entity. It will now, its accounting will now look more like a commercial entity. So while that might not sound like a big change from an auditor's perspective and from the work that the treasurer's office had to do, that actually was a little more of a heavy lift. So looking forward to seeing that. And based on prior, I just want to, I'm going to throw this out there, and Stephen may hate me for this, but based on prior years, I feel confident that we have remediated all of the deficiencies that were reported for the prior 10 years. That's something that we've been working on for 2 years now. But yeah, so just wanted to give an update on that. And then that audit report will be, made available to the Board of Trustees and then also to the public. The only other thing I had was just a very quick update on the Kemper project. So all but 2 of the interviews with the CCMAC and the Country Club Management Advisory Committee and the Board of Governors are completed. The membership survey that was sent out, those results are in. There is another survey that has gone out to residents, and residents, specifically residents who are non-members of the golf course, because we want to start building that into the master plan for that entire complex up there. And so we have received well over 300 responses, but I do want to encourage you to complete that survey. If you are not a member of the golf course, we want that campus to be meaningful to all the residents, not just the golfers. So I would encourage you to complete the survey with ideas, with what you'd like to see there, with any kind of feedback that you have. And and thank you very much for the folks who've already voiced their desires. So that's all I had. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, no more trustee comments, so
Actually, can I just get a couple?
one more trustee
sorry.
comment, unless he says something that everybody else wants to comment on.
So, I forgot to mention that last Thursday, we had a ceremony. We honored Ron Carlson. If you see Ron has spent 50 years with the village, and we dedicated the recreation room. It's now the Ron Carlson Recreation Room. So if you see Ron, please congratulate him for his 50 years here. Also, at the Recreation Center, same day we opened the Solo exhibit, so go take a look at the second floor. Naomi and Dick Solo, a lot of their pictures that they had that have to do with the village. It's a great exhibit. They're all over the second floor, so go take a look at that. And while you're there, go to the third floor. There's posters that the school children did to dedicate or commemorate or to celebrate trees. So it's something that the tree committee put together. So it's a poster contest that the grade school put together. So take a look at those things. That's all I have, I promise.
All right, you just reminded me of something else, and that is that we had made an announcement about the retaining wall on East Broadway being, we're getting ready to replace it, and there was going to be a road closure, detours, et cetera, but obviously that's a little bit delayed. We'll find out later in the week, which is later in the week already, but we'll probably find out tomorrow when that work will begin. And we'll update the signs around on the roads and also the community through an alert. Right? Okay. That's it. Trustee comments are closed officially. All right, so Clerk Perillo, do you want to lead us on action items?
Yes,
Uh-huh.
yes, thank you, Mayor. Resolution number 12826. Resolution approving the attached minutes of the December 17th, 2025 agenda meeting and the January 14th, 2026 work session meeting of the Village of Port Jefferson Board of Trustees. May I have a motion?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Resolution number 12826, resolution scheduling a public hearing for 6:00 p.m. on February 25th, 2026 at Port Jefferson Village Hall, 121 West Broadway, Port Jefferson, New York, 11777, regarding a proposed local law overriding the 2% tax cap as established in General Municipal Law, Section 3C. May I have a motion?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Resolution number 12826, resolution scheduling a public hearing for 6:00 p.m. on April 8th, 2026 at Village Hall, 121 West Broadway, Port Jefferson, New York, 11777, regarding the Village of Port Jefferson tentative annual budget for fiscal year 2026-2027. May I have a motion?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Resolution number 12826, resolution accepting the Initiative for Flood Reduction Studies Drainage Improvements Study Report as prepared by L.K. McLean Associates Engineering and Surveying, DPC, per Hazard Mitigation Grant Program, project number 44800031. May I have a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Just a quick comment, not about the plan, and to reiterate the gratitude of the efficient work and the great work that McLean did on this study and put it into a format that's easy to use, and just, it was such an excellent experience working with them. But we also got an email from Congressman Malota's office, January 26th, so that was Monday, seeking local priorities for consideration in the upcoming Water Resources and Development Act, WRDA. I'm just going to read this if that's okay, so the trustees know what we're working on in real time. Every 2 years, this landmark legislation allows members of Congress to coordinate with local entities on U.S. Army Corps of Engineer water resources projects and studies that protect communities, strengthen local economies, and improve the quality of life. Through WRDA, Congress can authorize the Army Corps to move forward on projects and studies that support navigation and dredging needs, flood control, hurricane and storm damage reduction and shoreline protection, water supply and conservation, environmental protection, restoration and enhancement, fish and wildlife mitigation. So they asked, in short, they asked for us to provide information for USAC consideration, especially issues involving navigation, dredging, flooding, storm risk, and shoreline erosion. The deadline for ideas is January 29th. We got this on January 26th. They asked for ideas on January 29th, and what our village engineer has done with, and in conversation with our grants writer, Lisa Motto, Peter Scully put forward this plan as an example of the work that we've done. It's going to be accepted and received under the deadline on February 2nd. And therefore, it was sent to the congressman's office. It was received and acknowledged, and they are presenting it to the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers. So there may be, that will help us really in real time start working with congressional awards to try and get some of this work looked at and done quickly. And I don't know how quickly, but it was very opportunistic, and our engineer jumped on it, as did our grant writer and all of us. So it's in the right hands right now. So pretty psyched about that. Anyway, all in favor?
Aye.
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 Resolution number 5, 12826, resolution approving the attached hazard communication program for the Village of Port Jefferson. May I have a motion?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Resolution number 6, 12826, resolution designating the triangle bordered by Crystal Brook Hollow Road, Winston Drive, and an access road per the attached maps and designated by tax map numbers 206-623, 206-624, and 206-625 as a passive recreational park to be known and dedicated as Strong Homestead Park. May I have a motion?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Could there be a little clarification on that, too? Just a reminder that,
Yeah.
that folks who have your kayaks on Crystal Brook Hollow Road on that, on those racks, that is really meant to be where you park. So put your kayak in the water, go park your car, come back for it, just to avoid parking on the residential street there and at that cul-de-sac.
So that, and there's a little more detail to that. Bob, do you want to talk about
Go ahead.
Strong
Yeah,
Strong Homestead Park?
We'll tag team. Go ahead. So,
You explained it so well at the conservation, at
Thanks.
the CCE, so.
So we've been having a series of meetings for how the village is going to be involved in the 250th anniversary of the United States. And as part of that, we're working with Mark Sternberg, who is a fantastic local historian, and he has done all this research, and that triangle that we're talking about, the park area, was the original homestead, which is why we're calling it Strong Homestead. For the Strong family, they were very instrumental in the Culper Spiring.
Not Robert T. Strong's family.
Right.
No relation, no relation.
True.
Yeah.
So back in the Revolutionary War, that's where they had, that's where the Strong Homestead was. So that's going to be dedicated as a Strong Homestead Park. And we're looking at moving, talking about the kayaks, moving some of the kayak racks, if not all of the kayak racks, over to the park. And if,
For launch.
and if we can, build a little dock so they can launch it right from the park, but that's things down the road in the
Oh, that's
planning.
great.
Yeah, and Lisa Motto is also creating a grant application with New York State Parks for up to $1 million to help us pull that park together in a way that recognizes the history of the land. So, yeah, so that's due on February 9th or 6th or something like that. So she's getting ready to submit that grant, and it involves history, it involves recreation, passive park kind of thing.
Solves that problem.
And it solves your problem, exactly, exactly. Okay, we voted on that, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Resolution number 7, 12826. Resolution approving the attached resolution for the June 16th, 2026 Village General Election regarding the waiving of election inspector village residency requirements. May I have a motion?
Motion?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Resolution number 8, 12826, resolution abolishing the conducting of village voter registration days in the village of Port Jefferson for the June 16th, 2026 village general election per the attached resolution. May I have a motion?
Motion?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Resolution number 9, 12826, resolution identifying the polling place for the village general election on June 16th, 2026 to be the Village Center, 101A East Broadway, Port Jefferson, New York, 11777, and establishing that the polls at the Village Center polling place will be open from 6 o'clock a.m. through 9 o'clock p.m. on June 16th, 2026 for the village general election. May I have a motion?
Motion?
Second.
Brief discussion, just asking our clerk to give us an update on paper ballots versus voting machines, which we discussed at the work session, if there is an update on that.
It's a brief update, Mayor, because tomorrow we have DPW staff that are going to the Suffolk County Board of Elections to obtain 2 voting machines. We are storing them on site at DPW in a secure location. And in addition to that, we will have 6 privacy booths. We are taking these, if you will, while we explore other options and determine the best way to proceed for June.
Thank you.
Thank you, Henry.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Resolution number 10, 12826, resolution approving the attached Civic Plus annual statement of work in the amount of $4,977 for the continuation of village website hosting. May I have a motion?
Motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Resolution number 11, 12826, resolution approving the attached 2-year agreement submitted by Nexus Unlimited, Inc. in the estimated monthly amount of $1,295 per month for the provision of live streaming services related to the monthly Board of Trustees work session and action agenda meetings. May I have a motion?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Resolution number 12, 12826, resolution accepting the resignation of Port Jefferson Country Club Groundskeeper 1, Michael Ballman, effective January 9th, 2026. May I have a motion?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Resolution number 13, 12826, resolution accepting with regret the resignation of Erin Gerns from the Public Safety Advisory Council. May I have a motion?
Motion.
Second?
Before we vote, I just want to say thank you for Erin's service on the council. If any folks have the who to call magnet on their fridge or somewhere, she did the first original design, and then we had the in-house designer pick it up from there. But she really helped us get the ball rolling on that. So thank you, Erin.
Thank you, Aaron. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
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 Resolution number 14, 12826, resolution accepting with regret the resignation of Holly Filzami from the Tree Committee effective January 16th, 2026. May I have a motion?
Motion?
Second.
So, as mentioned before, again, I want to thank Holly for all her work that she did on the tree committee. She was instrumental. The posters that I was talking about that the school children put up, she was instrumental in putting that whole process together. So I want to thank Holly for that and thank her for all the work she's done on the tree committee.
Thank you, Holly.
Thank you,
All in
Holly.
favor?
Aye.
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 Resolution number 15, 12826, resolution amending resolution number 05, 31225, and resolution number 13, 10225, as attached, to retract reference to the standard 26-week civil service probationary period. May I have a motion?
Motion?
Do we have a second?
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Resolution number 16, 12826, resolution approving the memorandum of agreement dated December 23rd, 2025, between the Village of Port Jefferson and CSA Local 1000, and approving authorizing Mayor Shepro to sign the memorandum of agreement on behalf of the Village of Port Jefferson. May I have a motion?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Resolution number 17, 12826, resolution approving the attached one-time, one-talk equipment offer submitted by Verizon Wireless for the provision of village-wide office phones and the accompanying phone system. May I have a motion?
Motion.
Second?
Any comment, celebration, like, do we hear from Barbara Sabatino clapping in the audience? Okay, I'm clapping, I'm celebrating. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Motion carries. I just want to go back to Resolution 16 for a minute, the CSEA. I don't know if you're all that familiar with what that is. Even if you are, just thought it was important stating again that this is sort of an addendum, right? It's a memorandum of agreement dated December 23rd, and we approved it and all, but I'm signing it. But what it means is that we have heavy equipment operator, we have a AEO,
A CEO?
a CEO, and
HEO?
HEO. And these are equipment operators in the village. And somehow, in the negotiation of the contract, there are steps in civil service. You have steps according to your position, and that is what entitles you to increases in your annual salary. And for some reason, their steps were kind of like disregarded or overlooked or forgotten or something. I don't know what it was, but we wanted to correct that because it was somewhat inequitable. So we took the time to take a look at that and investigate it. And now each of the individuals, I think there are 5 or 6 of them, that will be on an elevated step and progression, and will instantly see a nice increase to their annual salary this year, and then including into next year as it's planned for the annual increases. So thank you to the clerk and to our labor crew for working, to our labor council for working through that with the union. We got it done, and we're happy to have done it. So I just wanted to go back and reiterate why we did that and what that's about. So on to 18, I guess.
Thank you, Mayor. Resolution number 18, 12826, resolution authorizing Treasurer Gafka to create a new capital expense line item to be known as H 71102101, Parks Capital Improvement Softball Netting, for the purpose of purchasing and installing new softball netting at Joe Erlin Field. May I have a motion?
Motion?
Second.
So I want to, before we vote, I just want to, this is something that the Parks and Rec Committee worked on, and it came to fruition. So I want to thank them for all the work that they did on putting this together.
And to Renee Lemmerman for advocating for it
Yes.
so hard.
And hopefully it will keep softballs out of the creek.
Yeah.
Hopefully, unless the poles aren't high enough.
That could be a potential problem that we can fix now.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Resolution number 19, 12826, resolution authorizing the use of parkland funds to purchase new softball netting at the Joe Erlin Field at no net change to the capital fund budget by authorizing Treasurer Gafka to perform attached budget transfer number 46 as follows. Decrease expenses for line item H, 8997601, Parkland Funds, by $9,110, and increase expenses for line item H, 71102101, Parks Capital Improvement Softball Netting, by $9,110. May I have a motion?
Motion?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Resolution number 20, 12826, resolution to reclassify the expected revenue from the originally anticipated bonding to New York State state aid revenue for the FEMA and New York State funded repairs performed at the Old Homestead and Oakwood Road recharge basin. The reclassification results from the receipt of unanticipated New York State aid to cover the local government funding match and is approved by authorizing Treasurer Gafka to perform attached budget amendment number 116 as follows. Decrease anticipated revenue for line item H5710 serial bonds by $113,708.49 and increase anticipated revenue for line item H3089 state aid other by $113,708.49. May I have a motion?
Happily motioned.
Second.
And this means that we're paying $113,708.49 back to the borrowing that we made to do that project, correct, Treasurer Gafka?
We will be doing that, yes, Mayor.
All in-
It puts us in a position to do that, really. Right?
It does, and the position we're
Yes.
taking, right?
Yes.
Yeah, we have to. Much to my chagrin. Bob gets that. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Resolution number 21, 12826, resolution approving the check register and warrants dated January 28th, 2026, as presented by Treasurer Gafka and as approved by Claims Auditor Goodwin. May I have a motion?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Mayor, at this time, we have an add-on resolution to be known as Resolution Number 22, 12826, and that is a resolution accepting with regret the resignation of Eunice Murato from the Budget and Finance Committee. May I have that motion, please?
Motion.
Do we have a second?
Second.
May I just express my personal and on the part of the village, my gratitude for Eunice Murato having served. I know that that during that period of time, she had a significant workload and still made herself available. I am hoping that, and she has expressed this, that if we do have, because she is a municipal auditor, if there are questions that sometime come up and we need a little help and a phone call would do it, she is happily going to make herself available for that. So gratitude for that in advance as well.
She was an asset on that committee, right?
Very much, very much. She was a big part in sort of explaining some of the more municipally specific things for the rest of the group as well, which is why we've asked her to continue picking up the phone if we need her.
Okay, thank you, Eunice. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Resolution number 23, 12826, resolution to close the January 28th, 2026 agenda meeting of the Board of Trustees at 7:52 PM. May I have a motion?
Motion?
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Meeting adjourned.